Okay, good morning. How y'all doing? It's my first stream in over 2 weeks. I planned on going 3 weeks, but I don't know. I got the urge and I kind of miss it, so I thought, all right, I'll come back and do a stream today. And I was like, I have no idea. Last night I was like, I have no idea what to do. Then this morning I just thought of something, and it happens to stem from the Thai way of thinking here, and they reword it in many different ways, but right now it's value over volume. That's what they think they're going to get here. And when I first heard it, I was walking down the street, I was walking down La Prau, and I look over, there's a canal. I took some pictures of the canal. I'm like, man, this canal is filthy. I walk down the street a little ways, it's across the street. I look over, there's another canal. I'm like, this canal is absolutely filthy. And I'm like, how are you going to get high value people into your country when the place is a mess? It's just a mess. And not only politically and all these other ways. They need to understand they have a great thing here with the people. And they need to take care of their resources. And in some ways they do, like Maya Bay, they finally figured out, hey, if we don't do something, we're not going to have Maya Bay anymore. It's going to be gone. So they need to do some things like that. Now, for some people, they're making 5, 6, 7 grand, 10 grand, who knows how much. But let's say over 5 grand a month. And there are people who are making hundreds of thousands of dollars, or at least, $150,000 a year, and they're scraping by because, first of all, they're not really living within their means, and second of all, things are very, very expensive in the United States, at least very expensive, more expensive than in the past, and they get stuck in the system, and that system does not always reward hard work. You think about it, you go work at Burger King and you bust your ass and you make peanuts. You're not going to get ahead. It's hard to get ahead. You're only going to get ahead if you're living with mom and dad. You're paying for the privilege of paying money to go to work. And I thought about this for Alex, because now Alex has a job and he goes to work. He has to pay, it works out to about maybe $100 a month for his transportation. And I said, you cannot have your mother ironing your clothes every morning. She wakes up early to iron his clothes. You can't have her doing that. She needs the extra sleep. It's not fair to her. And you're 24 years old. Take care of your business. I said, take it down to the lady down the street. It'll cost you about 150, 200 baht a week, and pay her. So let's say that's going to be another 1,000. So, all right, he might be paying 4,000 or 5,000, and then he's got food. He's got to pay for lunch, right? So that's another, say, and it's down by Sukhumvit, so it's a little more expensive. So you're talking about 100, 125 a meal. That's about 3,000 baht. So he's paying what now? 7,000 baht? He's got to pay 7,000 baht just for the privilege of going to work for someone else. And that's what people in America do. Some people are commuting. Maybe they're taking the bus. I don't know. Maybe they're taking the train if they're that lucky. And they're dealing with overpriced healthcare. If they're making quite a bit of money, hey, Jim, they're paying taxes, and you're not really getting ahead as much as you should. Now, I think personally, the way that it works best is if you have a family, you have a decent family, they're making decent money, and then you From the time you start working, you put 20% away, you pay yourself first. When you graduate college, well, thank you. When you graduate college, you know, maybe you're 22 years old, you start working, let's say you're 23, you're making, you know, 35,000 a year, and you're spending 20,000 of it, 25,000. You put 20% of that money that you make away, and every time you're working, every time you've got the money, you put 20%, 20%. And then by the time you're, say, 30, you've got a chunk of change saved. And that starts you on a path where you're not reliant on everyone else, because you can figure out, it gives you the breathing room to figure out what you want to do and how you want to make your money. And I know the drill, because believe me, I did it for years. And I got lucky. To be honest, I got really lucky. And I was smart because I took advantage. The one thing that I will say is I took advantage of an opportunity. And that opportunity was, you know, listen, I was working at a print shop. I had been printing for how many years? 8 years, 7 years, something like that. Running printing machines. That's what I did. And listen, I liked that I made some decent money. I made okay money. Wasn't great. It wasn't piss poor or anything. But I made some money. I was able to live. But I didn't like getting my hands dirty on a regular basis and then going home and having to scrub the hell out of them to make them not look like I worked at a print shop, so I could go out with the girl, because a girl sees your hands and they're all filthy. She doesn't want you, you know, touching her in certain areas. She wants you to clean your hands. So I didn't like, it wasn't just because of the women, but I just didn't, I mean, I liked it, but I didn't like it. You like it when you finish a job and, you know, the job looks good and you get it well done or whatever. Okay, great. You like it when you get a bonus. You like it when you get your time off. Okay. But you got to go to work every day. And then you're struggling, and now, I mean, that was 30-something years, 35 years ago, 33 years ago. Nowadays, it's like there are people out there, they are working 2 jobs, and they're barely making it now. So I know the drill, and you know, you get up early, you work all day. Maybe you go out 1 or 2 nights a week if you're lucky. I should have turned my phone off. Got a phone call. I've been getting all kinds of deliveries. I got all kinds of things being shipped. Anyway. So, you know, maybe on the weekend you go out one time with your buddies. Maybe you have a date. Maybe you got a girlfriend. She comes over a couple times a week and you have dinner, watch TV, watch a movie, fall asleep, bang. You know, and then it's like, all right, see you later. Yeah, see you later. All right. And that's your life. You know, and it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. And I think that's what's really important. And so some people who make quite a bit of money, they're not really rich. You know, they got all kinds of debt. And people think it's normal. I saw a thing the other day on TV where this guy's walking down the street, and it was a guy from Dave Ramsey's show. He walks down the street and he says, hey, let me ask you something, how much debt you have? There are people, 140,000 plus my house, 90,000 because of student debt, all these kind of things. And I'm thinking, Jesus, that's horrible. I never had any of those. Never. I didn't want them. Now, I had student debt, but I paid it off. It wasn't all that much, you know, I mean, really, to be honest, a couple $1,000s. Thank you, Richard. Thank you very much. So, you know, you got to take it all in and see what you're working with. But now, obviously, I live in Thailand, and I've been here a long time. And, you know, that counts for something. I mean, I don't think I'm better than anybody or that I've got this, you know, this so much knowledge socked away in my head. I just think I was lucky I came over here. There are people who've been here 40, 50 years. You know, they know a lot. There are people here, they've been here 20 years. They know a lot. I'm just saying, by osmosis, you pick things up. And I probably pay half, maybe 35% in some cases, of what most Americans are paying. Okay? What they spend. And I'm not scraping by. I mean, I always look at it as, I heard that from somewhere, being rich is not necessarily how much money you have, although that is important. It's how much money you have that can cover a certain amount of debts. So if you can cover your debt for, say, 20 years without ever working, that's pretty damn good, right? Now, I know my debt is covered. I know I don't have a problem with it. I'm very lucky and very fortunate because I moved here. It was the right move for me, and I didn't know if it was the right move. I just wanted an adventure. And it turned out that now it's the right move. You know, so that's one thing. But there are a lot of people living in the United States, they're very happy. I will say that, okay? They're very, very happy. You know, they live there. Hey, Charles, 2 brand new Toyotas, a 4-car garage, 4 new motorbikes, and a 4-bedroom house for less than $200K. I had to get the American dream in Thailand. There you go. Now, we don't have all those things, and honestly, I don't want a car, not right now. I look at things all the time. And you know, these last couple of weeks off, I've just been thinking about, okay, how can I save more money? How can I make more money from the money that I'm saving? God, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Guys call up. They call up, hello? And you're like, hello? What can I help you with? Hello? Hello? Unbelievable. You know, it's like, you say something. I have like 10 different little orders, you know. I ordered some filters for my camera, and they canceled the order. Then I ordered this, I ordered that. I mean, I got all kinds of things coming, and I'm just like, put it inside. That's all you have to do. Put it inside the gate. You'll be fine. And they always do that. So now, you know, I got this guy, and he's called up 2 times now. And he's like, hello, hello, hello. I'm like, do you not hear me? And he did hear me. Anyway, so, but where was I? Yeah, I'm not scraping by. So I'm very fortunate in that regard. But there's people in the United States that are making a lot of money, and they are scraping by. And there's people making not much money, and they could be living far better. The key is that you have to keep earning, or you have to have the money saved. The money has to be earning passively, or you have to continue to earn somehow, which is online or whatever. You know, some debt is okay if you make more in interest or dividends on your money than you pay. You will barely be scraping by. Here I live on half my monthly income, like me. I'm able to do extensive dental work, and it is now paid off. Oh, it is paid off. Okay, that's good. I also have the ability to travel. Well, let me continue a little, and I'll tell you a little something else about traveling. But you don't have to live if you want to move. First of all, the one thing it takes is some balls, or if you're a woman, it just takes some guts. Okay. You know, listen, the weather here, I mean, I went out today, jumped on a motorcycle. I get out, it's nice and warm, the sun is shining. I'm like, oh my God, the weather is fantastic. Now, we know the food is always good if you want to have Thai food, which is an option. The healthcare is solid here. And, you know, that brings you peace of mind. You don't come here, you don't have to be some dirtbag sleeping on the street. You know, you don't need that. I mean, you don't need all that much money. And you can be doing this whether it's in Thailand, the Philippines, Ecuador, Portugal, Malaysia. There's so many places, Albania. There's so many places that you could be living. You don't need to live like a millionaire. You don't need to be a millionaire, rather, to live like one. I mean, you can live very well. And you just need to kind of break free from unbelievable. I'm trying to think, do I have anything that needs to go, that needs to come? I don't have anything going to be delivered. I have like 10 things, but they're not. And I hang up on them again. Let me see if I can do this here. Hang on. Hey Cyrus, how you doing? I'm doing pretty good. Let's see here. Okay, I'm logging in. Now where is that? Yes, we're experiencing technical difficulties. Where is this guy that called me? How do I figure that out? I don't know. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Yeah, everything that I have that's got to be delivered is not ready to be delivered today. It'll be delivered in a couple of days. So I don't know what this guy's calling about, but when they call and you don't know them, then they need a reason why they need to talk to you. Okay, so let me just see here. Return. Oh, you just returned to Thailand. Wow. From Hawaii. Depends on where you live. My living cost in the Midwest is very low. No debt, house paid for, and I can make it on $1,000 per month. No problem. So you're single. You're single, and the only real expense is like your utilities and food and any spending money that you want if you go out. Gas. Maintenance on your car. And that's another thing. Like I said, there are a lot of people in the U.S., they're perfectly happy where they are, and they don't go anywhere. They might be in the Midwest, they might, wherever they are. It doesn't really matter. But there are a lot of people out there who are not happy. Oh, thank you very much. That's good. Nice to hear. Let me see something here. Oh, it doesn't. Oh, here it is. My cable internet bill is the biggest bill. I spend as much on cable and internet as I do on food. Why? Okay, I've got the top fans. They just came out with this new leaderboard. Right now, Cyrus is the top fan, followed by Robert Pierpoint, followed by Loom Jim, followed by Charles Akana, followed by Way Deep Inside, followed by SS Ratas, which I think is Dale. So there you go. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a cable bill. We don't have a cable bill here. Yes, that's what I thought it was. I thought it was you. I don't have a cable bill here anymore. I have Fire Stick and I have Netflix, which Netflix for me costs $11. Rural and cable internet was out for 10 days. I lost my mom. Oh, you're in. Well, now, if the internet is out, I understand. But cable, I mean, can't you get Netflix? I don't know how much Netflix is in the States, but here, for two units, like two units that you can show your Netflix on, that you can view it on, and it's HD, it's 350 baht. So 11 bucks. It's even less. It's about $10.80. It's really cheap. Just like my internet. I mean, my mobile phone bill is, it's $12. So that's the thing. My house is about $20. It's well over $200 in the US. Yeah. It is. The things are very reliable here. That's something that you should take note of. Anyway, for those of you who do not know, I am Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. This is the whole little blurb part of the podcast. And I've been living here for over 30 years. And if you like this video, do me a favor, click the like button. Because we only have 9 likes. We got 36 people in the stream. That's a bit sad. And also, if you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe. Do that for me and hit the notification bell. And if you need a consultation, well, you can get a consultation from me if you email me at anamericaninbangkok@gmail.com. And if you just have a comment or you need one question answered, something like that, okay, then send me a message. So we're going to talk about, how comparing the United States and other places to Thailand, and why Thailand is not nearly as bad as you may think. Yeah, I need to drop my cable. I watch YouTube 90% of the time, but I can't drop the cable without doing a year contract. I don't plan on being here a year. That sucks. And that's the thing. These companies, they get you by the balls, and then you're just stuck. I only make $1,000 passively a month online with that. Well, first of all, how old are you? That's the first question. Well, hear me out. You need to tell me how old you are. And I'll give you a better idea of your lifestyle that you can expect for that. Because you can make it here on that, but it's going to depend. One thing is your age. The second thing is where you're located. And there are other things. But tell me how old you are, and then we'll take it from there. Now, if you're making, say, $6,000, I picked $6,000 because making $3,000 in Thailand is a good income, and it's not without reach for many people. It's not without reach. Now, for some people on a fixed income, I understand. Maybe you're making $2,000, but let's just say $3,000. You're 25. Okay, so what kind of visa do you plan on? That's the first thing. What kind of visa do you plan on getting when you come here? How are you going to stay here legally long term? Or do you want to just bebop around? That's the first thing. And the other thing is, you're 25. Now, I don't know how much you like women or into women, or if, you go the other way. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But if you're here and you're 25, and let's say at 35 you meet some woman and you want to get married, hey, how you doing, Michael? Wow, yeah, and this is a rare one for me. And you decide to get married, well, then your cost of living is going to go up. So you have to think about that also. But the first thing to think about if you're 25 is how you're going to stay here. You can only stay here on an ED visa for maybe 3 to 5 years if you're lucky. It's not just survival. Because there are some ways that he can live here very easily, and it depends on where he lives, but it also depends on his visa. You can live here on $1,000 a month. I'm not saying you can't. It does have a digital nomad visa, but you're going to need to meet some requirements, which are not that great, but you have to go, what is it? You have to go out of the country. Let me see here, the requirements. I forget. because they got so many visas now. It's hard for me to keep up with all of them, but it has the LTR visa, which is a 10-year visa, which is quite costly. I know it does have a digital nomad visa. Rubbish. Let me see here. Okay. Yeah, it was launched in 2024. It's good for 5 years. And you can stay for 6 months at a time, but you have to renew it after the 6 months or get an extension. You need a bank balance of $14,500 for 3 months. You need to show that for 3 months. And you need proof of remote work. You need health insurance that will cover however long you want to stay in Thailand. So if it's just a regular health insurance that you can use in Thailand, not just for 30 days or whatever, then that would suffice. If it's like every year you just renew it, well then you can show that, and that'll work. You need your passport. You don't need a work permit to work online. Multiple entries are allowed. And you must leave the country after 180 days to renew it. And you must keep your bank balance and your insurance intact. Yeah. But there are certain clauses that they have. So, let's see here. Let me see something here. Well, it is a pain in the neck to get a bank account. Fortunately, I have like 8 of them here, 7 or 8 of them here, and I have like 3 back home. You know, I just accumulate bank accounts. I don't accumulate that much money, but I accumulate bank accounts. And in fact, I have to go to the bank today. There's a few things I need to do at the bank, at 2 banks. But that's neither here nor there. If you can get a bank account with your digital nomad visa or with your visa as you come in, I don't know how you're going to be able to do that because it's a catch-22. You need the bank account to get the visa, but you're going to probably, even with the digital nomad visa, you can't really get a bank account. You know, different reasons. I worked at a place here in Thailand, and they made me get a CASHAPP account. Okay, I had a CASHAPP account. I also had a Bangkok bank account, and for whatever reason, I just decided to open another Bangkok bank. Then I needed to do something. I needed to transfer money through SCB. I opened an SCB account. So that's I have a UOB account that's strictly for my kids. Put money in there for my kids, and that will never close. So what I do is I try to put money in that account for myself, not for me to spend, but for me to put money away in case something happens to me. They can go to that bank and they can just go right in and pull the money out. Do you earn in U.S. or Thailand? If worn in the U.S., what? If worn in the, you mean earn in the U.S., how do you transfer? Wise transfer from a U.S. bank to a Thai bank. That's very easy, and yes, I do that. Most of the money I earn in the U.S. And yes, Wise is very good. However, I do have bank cards just in case something happens. And Wise says, oh, the U.S. is being difficult. We're locking down. We can't use U.S. for 30 days, or it may take us 15 days or something like that. So that's why I always have the other cards. And if I got into a pinch, you know, I could call somebody up in the States and they could wire me some money and I could transfer it from a U.S. account to them. So it's not that difficult. You figure it out after a while. And that's where the time comes in. You just kind of figure things out as you go. Now, Jono's been here for a number of years, and he's got it pretty much figured out, and he talks to people back home, and they're like, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? And he's like, for what? What do I need to do this for? I got everything squared away here. He's good to go. The only account that I had a problem with was Charles Schwab, and that's because I opened it up like 4 years ago, and they said you need to come in and provide information that shows us who you are and gives us that kind of information, verify your name and everything like that. And I said, listen, I can't do that. I'm in Thailand. They said, well, you're gonna have to come back. I said, all right. So I let the time go by, and I kept the account open because I opened it up, with like $50 or something. They said, okay, you can keep it open, but you're not gonna be able to use it. I said, okay. So I just kept the money, and then one day I went back. This is probably about 6 months ago. I went back and I said, I'm just wondering, but in the past, I had to come into the United States to get my Charles Schwab account verified. And I'm just wondering, why is that? Because what is going on? Why do I have to do that? Hey, thank you, Raymond. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Choke deep. Why do I have to do that? Why do I have to go? And they go, you don't. And I go, what? Well, you used to. And I go, so I can open it. I have my account open. Now I can get it verified. They said, let me put you through to the department. They put me through to the department that handled that. I got it all verified. And now I have a brokerage account, and I have my bank account. And I have a... Yeah, this one doesn't have the number on the front, but I have the card for Charles Schwab, so it's pretty good. I don't usually use the card. I just keep the money in there, and it's only for like trips. And that's about it. It doesn't matter what address you put. At least in my book. I've used the U.S. and Thailand. Now I use Thailand, and they don't bother me. It's not a problem, really. It's pretty easy. All right, let me go on here. If you're earning $6,000 in America or Australia or Great Britain, wherever, you might just be treading water. And sometimes rent. I mean, look at rent in like L.A. or New York or something. It might be $2,000, $3,000 a month, and you're getting a shithole. You add in the gas, the food, insurance, car payments, utilities, then that's another $2,000. $2,000, right? So, that's a considerable amount of money. Well, I have my American Express, and it's still a platinum card. My Charles Schwab, it's not a platinum card. I don't need a platinum card. What do I need it for? I'm good to go. I got enough money. I got my cards. My wife has plenty of money. We have plenty of money. We're not rich, but I know that money's going to come in. I know that money will always come. So I'm not worried about it. I read that Charles Schwab will force you to change an international brokerage account if they found out you live abroad, and then you can't buy certain funds. I don't know. In fact, let me log in and see what the deal is with them, because I don't honestly remember. It's a joke, Scott. I just remember. Yeah, he was giving me so much shit about that. That's the thing. I don't care what it is. It works for me. It's a good card. It works for me. All right, let me see my, what is my address here? I don't know if I have my U.S. I might have my U.S. address on here. I don't know. What the hell's going on here? Security setting, contact information. Yeah, I have my U.S. account. I have my U.S. information here. They have never said a word to me about where I am or anything like that. And when I make a withdrawal, I don't ever pay a withdrawal fee here or there. Just like on my Truist card, I don't ever have to pay. Oh, are you, Bruce? I mean, why would I close my Truist account? I have money there. I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. That's the whole reason I'm thinking of leaving. Just got the renewal letter from my one-bedroom apartment in Atlanta. It's over $2,000. There you go, $2,000. Then you're paying for food, electric, and you know, gas, insurance. Crazy. Cambodia is much easier for a young guy like yourself to stay long-term. Okay, I got to talk about that a little bit. You keep money in the checking and withdraw from there. When you keep it invested in the brokerage and then transfer. I don't invest all that much. I try to invest a little bit every month, but not a lot. I put more money. I'm trying to build up my savings, you know, so I have a considerable amount in cash if I want to get at it. And because I have some ideas of what I want to do, but it goes into the brokerage account too. And I don't have to transfer it back. I don't do that. But with Cambodia, with regards to Cambodia, okay, it's very easy to get your visa, but getting a visa easily is not the only reason to move to a place. Listen, you know, there's a lot of guys, they don't understand. You pay in dollars in Cambodia, much of the time. You pay in dollars. Now, you can pay in real also, but sometimes they're just dicks about it. If it's you know, they may charge you $1 for a ride. It's really, you know, it's half of that in real. But that's not the reason why. I mean, it is getting nicer here. It's better. And the only way to get yourself, do you really want a passport from Cambodia? Do you want citizenship from Cambodia? I don't really know that you do. So when you decide to move somewhere, you should think about that with that in mind. Now I know that from here, because I could have got my citizenship here a number of years ago, and I just wasn't thinking about it. All right, so let's go on here. Utilities, yeah, that's another $2,000. If you get sick, you could burn through thousands just in healthcare. Even though your healthcare pays a lot, you may have to pay a lot too. If you're paying 20%, and you know the bill is $400,000 for something, you know, and then you got to pay taxes. Of course, they always get their cut. So the money goes quickly. That's the bottom line. Now, here in Thailand, what I can say is, once I started getting I understand that you can renew it every year, but here's the catch, okay? And people forget this. As soon as they start getting enough people, and they're starting to get close to that, they're getting a lot more people going to Cambodia because of the ease of visa, ease of getting the visa. When that happens, they're going to make it more difficult. And that's what happens just about everywhere. I talked about, you know, the other day I talked about the citizenship in Portugal. You go to Portugal, and let's say that you're, you know, 50 years old or whatever, and you retire. You think you're set, right? You've been there for 7 years. You're like, oh, I should get my citizenship. Well, you know, there's no guarantee. I mean, why would you get citizenship at, say, 65? 67, whatever, something like that. Why would you do that? You don't know how much longer you're going to live. You have no idea. So if you're there and you're like 35, 40, then you want to get your citizenship. Okay, well, generally your life expectancy is 75. But in Cambodia and not so much in Vietnam, because they don't even have a retirement visa. With Cambodia, believe me, I thought about getting it, and I just thought, wait a minute, do I want a Cambodian passport? Oh yes, let me go to the United States. I got a Cambodian passport. No, it's not a strong passport. It's a weak passport. And like I said, when it gets easier for people to go in, and there's enough people, they're gonna say, that's it. we're gonna make it more difficult. That's what Thailand's done. That's what every place does. Look at Mexico, perfect example. I mean, listen, when you have to leave, it sucks. You have to leave. When you can leave if you want, it's great. You know, listen, the last time I went out, I went to Vietnam. It's been, I don't know, 8-9 months, and I don't really want to go out. I go to America to see my parents, maybe at the end of the year, I don't know. But right now, the prices are like 50,000 baht on the tickets from here to there. I'm like, what the hell, man? No, thank you. What I might try is to buy two one-way tickets. A one-way ticket from Fort Lauderdale to Bangkok, and then from Bangkok back to Fort Lauderdale. I don't know, because sometimes the price will be less than just a round-trip ticket from Bangkok. All right, so, you know, if you ask yourself, what are you paying every month? Now, if you're in the Midwest, or, you know, you're one of the fortunate ones, or somebody who's paid off their debt, they have no debt, and, you know, you're in a good position, then you don't really have to leave if you don't want to. You got plenty of money. You got some strength. You got options. But it depends on what you're making. You know, you got rent, you got groceries, you got, there's all kinds, people have all kinds of bills. And you know what's funny? No, I don't want to go to Miami or West Palm. I want to go to Fort Lauderdale, that airport. That's the airport I want to go to. Much easier. What was I saying? I don't know what I was saying. Anybody remember what I was saying? I forgot. Yeah, what are you paying? How much are you paying every month for your bills that you have to pay every month? And then figure out how much you would pay if you just said, that's it, I'm picking up, I'm selling everything, I'm leaving. Because that's what I did. I just said, how much would I have to pay? Well, that's another thing. So you don't have a great path to citizenship unless you want to spend a lot of dough. And then people there, you know, listen, that place is corrupt as can be. More than Thailand. And if they know you got money, the village chief might come around. Some of the people in the government might come around. Oh, you have a little something for me. You don't know. You know, and I just would not want to be a guy in Cambodia living there who had a lot of money and people knew. I would rather be a guy with a lot of money who kept my money in the States and basically got myself a one-year visa, and didn't even worry about citizenship or anything like that. I wouldn't pay $250,000, and it's more like $300,000, $320,000 after all is said and done. But if you're in the States and you're really worried about your bills, then you got no peace, man. And that's what's so valuable, is the peace of mind. Listen, I wake up when I want. Now, generally, I wake up at 4 or 5 o'clock. But I wake up when I want. I don't have anybody telling me when I gotta wake up. I haven't had that for 30 years. People don't tell me when to wake up. I wake up when I want. I don't have an alarm clock. So I have that freedom in my mind when I wake up, okay. And then I think to myself, what am I gonna do? Almost always, I'm gonna have a cup of coffee. I'm gonna enjoy that. I'm gonna have my peaceful morning at the house, make myself a nice cup of coffee, sit there, have an espresso, drink it. Then I can figure out what I need to do for the day. And sometimes I do different things, but you know, it's not just about money, it's also a mental thing. You know, you don't want to be exhausted. I remember being back in the States and I was always tired. it'd be a Friday night, and my friends would be like, "You want to go out tonight?" And I'd be like, "Man, I'm exhausted. I'm going to sleep." You know, and it would be like, "Oh shit, I got to eat," and I'd go to the Roach Coach to get food. You know, now I eat at home. I mean, I almost always eat at home, and I pick and choose what I want to eat. So now, if you're on $1,000 a month budget here, you might not be able to do that. You might have to eat Thai food most of the time because it's cheaper. But if you're gonna buy, I've started buying stuff from Bangkok Bob's. I don't buy from Paleo Robbie very much. From, what is that place? A British shop. And there's another place, the Accidental Butcher, I think it's called. But you know, I spend $50 and I get all kinds of meat. And I spend $50 2-3 times, like 2-3 days in a row. I'll spend $50, $100, whatever. I get the food and it sits in my freezer. I got plenty of food for the whole month. Right? Then I go to the grocery and I get bread or whatever I need. So it doesn't cost that much. It's not nearly as much as in the United States. For 4 kids, for 4 people, 2 kids, I have no idea what it would cost in the United States. And I'm not the kind of person who I want to be looking for coupons all the time. I just don't want to do that. So if you come here and you want to live for half of what you're living in the States, you know, you don't have to do that. You're not getting by, you are living very well. And yeah, and my rent is dirt cheap. And this is what I tell people. I tell people that when you come here, instead of thinking, I'm going to go get myself one of these big condos that has a weight room, and it's got, you know, a swimming pool, and it's got this, and it's got that. Oh, yeah, I'm going to use them so much. Most people don't use this stuff very much. They don't use it enough to make it worthwhile. If you're paying 20,000 baht for a condo so that you can have those kind of things, $200? Are you kidding me? Dude, you're out of your mind. You think I'm spending $200 on groceries? You are out of your mind. That's not even half. All right. Now here's a good judge of price difference in the Midwest versus California. Next to Pizza Hut, large pizza, $25. Where I am, 2 large pizzas and an order of breadsticks for $25. Yeah, of course, but you're in the Midwest, so that's gonna be a lot cheaper. And that's kind of like living in Thailand. Although, you know, even here it's gonna be even less than that for that. For 2 pizzas, it'll be less than that. It might be, I don't know, 550, 600 baht, which is, you know, $18, something like that. Now let me see something here. All right, let me go on. I don't remember what I was saying. I constantly forget what I'm saying. Oh, I know what I was going to say. All right, so you got a condo in Bangkok with a pool and a gym and, you know, I don't know, a co-working space or something like that. Hey, thanks a lot there, Jim. Appreciate that. Testing. Well, it works. There we go. I don't know how much 12 eggs is, but 10 eggs I know. You can get 10 eggs for about 48 baht if you want, which is a buck 40, 45. But if I get them from the groceries, I get 20 eggs for 125 baht. They're a little bit more, but they come packaged, and I never break any eggs because I'm carrying them home. You know, I'm on the motorcycle or something with a little bag. Here, so 125 divided by 33 is, you know, it's not even $4. It's about $3 and say 80 cents, and you get 20 eggs. So I'm good. We always have 20, 30 eggs in our refrigerator. Thank you, Robert. Thank you very much. Yeah, I would like some of that. I don't want any ganja, but I'll take a little opium. That would be kind of cool. Really? Now that sucks. I wonder why they're doing that. I wonder if it has to do with your location, because see, I'm here in Thailand. I could, if I wanted to leave. Thank you very much, there, man. True. For eggs. Well, I'll buy quite a few eggs today. I wonder if they're doing that. I don't know. They don't block me here, but I'm on my laptop. I don't know if they do on my phone. All right, let me go on. Got to continue here. Got to keep this going. What I was going to say is, if you are renting a condo and you're paying 20,000, 30,000 baht a month, you might want to think about getting a townhouse or a house. Because believe me, if you got somebody to help you, like my wife does this shit, and I give the okay. She goes, I found a couple of places, and we go look at them. I go, I like this place. Okay, yeah, I like that place too. All right, and then we talk about it a little bit, and then we do whatever we're gonna do. Now, we did this in the place we're living now. We've been living there for 10, 11 years. And I don't want to move. And she's asked me a couple of times, well, let's just go buy this house over here, buy this house over there. And I'm like, listen, what do I want to go from paying 7,000 baht rent to 30 or 40,000 baht rent? You lose your job, we're screwed. I die, you got to pay for everything. You're screwed. I mean, she could do it, but she'd be like praying she didn't lose her job. So what I'm saying is, if you get somebody to help you, and I've told this to a lot of people, if you can get someone to help you, it's much, much better to get a house, in my opinion, or a townhouse, than to get like an apartment or a condo. Because first of all, you're living around all these other people. You got really nowhere to walk except inside. Maybe you can go out onto a balcony. But you're not going to be able to walk around a yard, anything like that. Now, our yard is not that big, but we do have a garage, a carport. The other place, we had a big, pretty big yard. I mean, it was 20 yards by 20 yards, something like that. I mean, it wasn't huge, but it wasn't tiny. So why wouldn't you want to live in a house, 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 3-bath? Why wouldn't you want to live in a house where you can, like, listen, I get in my house, we lock the gate, nobody can come in. We know if somebody's coming in, they're going to come break it in. Then I'm grabbing the baseball bat, or I'm going to get something else. And, we know we have some kind of a warning. But we don't have to worry about that. I mean, listen, we leave the house sometimes, and the neighbors watch. They watch everything. They know what's going on. So I don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. And yeah, if I didn't have a yard, I didn't have somewhere to walk around, somewhere to go out, somewhere to just to sit, I would not. I know what it's like to live in apartments. I've lived in a lot of apartments. I had one apartment. It was all right, but I mean, listen, I had, it's just, I think when you get a little bit older, you want a little more room. I don't want to live in some tiny little room that's like a hotel room. I don't think that's the way that people should live. And I think that's the reason why I want to get out of here and go somewhere else, which I've been thinking about for a long time. Now, if you can find somebody who speaks Thai, who can read Thai, who can help you, like a Thai person, then I think it's a good idea to do that. Because I like bass, gotta have my subwoofers. It's therapeutic for me. Yeah, and if you're in an apartment and you're cranking that up, man, forget about it. Yeah, I mean, listen, thank you, Dale, thank you very much. Thank you. All righty. That's nice. Nice day today. Very nice. Give him a thumbs up, please. I'd appreciate that if everybody gave the contributors a thumbs up. Oh, big bucks. 31 bucks. I'm rich. Oh, God. If I made like $3,000 in a stream, I'd be like, oh, my God. I can't believe it. I've never made that much. I think I made $1,000 once, and that was when I went to Myanmar for my trip. I went to go photograph the Burmese, and I had to go, yeah, there was a lot of things I had to do, and I had to go through, and, you know, the cops came and talked to me. It was difficult. The police came to my hotel room. The guy in the hotel goes, you don't go there. And I go, yeah, I'm going there. He goes, no, you don't go. And I go, I'm going. And so then I ended up going. And then when I got back, the police were waiting for me. What you do? Where you go? I go, I don't know. And I'll just go see my friend. What is he? He is not Buddhist. And I said, I don't know what he is. I said, I don't care what he is. That was an ordeal. But that was about 12 years ago, something like that. 13 years ago. It was a while. Anyway. Yeah, I made some money. I didn't get rich, but I mean, you know, I profited. Let's put it that way. I covered my nut, and I made some money. You know, Burma's been like this for 50 years. And I really like Myanmar quite a bit. I mean, I've been there many, many times. I've been all over the country, and I really like it. I like the people. They're very nice. But there are many different factions in the country. And so I don't think that any one set of people are going to govern and everybody's going to be happy. I just don't think that's going to happen. And I do plan on going there again because I have, if any of you watched the video I put up about my grandfather going down in the plane, the chaos, I forget what I titled it, that happened in northern Myanmar. And I want to go there. I want to try to find out where it was that he crashed. I don't know if I can do that or not. Probably not, but I want to try it eventually. But I got a couple other things I'm working on right now. So, now listen, I mean, you know, it comes down to, do you want to pay less money and live good, or do you want to pay more money and maybe you're struggling? And for some people in the United States, they are definitely struggling. The Philippines, if you're 30, it depends on your age. I think it's 35 to 49. I gotta look at this here. 35 to 49, you need $50,000 as a deposit. 50 years and older, you need $20,000. But you need $10,000 if you have a pension of $800 or above. So let's see here. Okay, you can have 2 children and a spouse. Right. So that's what you can have for 10 grand if you're over 50. But you cannot own property. I mean, you cannot own, you can't own land. So there's another thing. And I understand, but like in Ecuador, you can own land. And is Myanmar a go or no-go nowadays? We're looking for someone to go in October. Cambodia is off the table for the wife. I was hoping somewhere new. If I were you, I wouldn't go there with her. Honestly. I mean, I don't think it's that dangerous just in Yangon. Not at all. You know, maybe if you want to go there, maybe I'd do that. But, I mean, I don't know. You know, I went there. I've been there every single time by myself. My wife never wants to go. She wants to go to Laos, and I got to ask her about that today. I forgot about that. She wants to go there, and then she said no. And she, you know, she's vacillating back and forth. But whatever. Laos, Vietnam, I mean, that, whatever. I don't need to go there. I don't need to go there. I know all about it, and I've been to Laos many times, several times, like 5 times. I went, you know, I don't know, a year or 2 ago, whatever it was. Well, I'm not worried about that for myself. I'm not worried about going to Myanmar and dealing with that. I'm not worried about the earthquakes. And I'm not worried about the war unless I decide to go somewhere where I could get caught up in it. And that could happen, but it just depends on where I go. Laos is all right. That's how I look at it. It's okay. Yeah, Portugal, they just raised the number of years to 10 years from 5 years to become an EU citizen, which is very important because think about it. You become an EU citizen, you go anywhere in the EU. But if you have a D7 visa, yes, I have. You only need $1,200 to $1,500 as an income requirement, so it's very, very reasonable. And they have great health care. You can walk around the cities, but like in Lisbon, the cost is quite a bit more than Thailand. In Ecuador, you need $1,300, but you can get citizenship. Mexico, I think it's $2,400 or $2,500 a month. Let's see here. And the good thing about Mexico is that it's very close to the United States. So if you're from the United States, you're an American, you can go there very easily. Then you got Malaysia, which healthcare is pretty much on par with Thailand. And it's a solid option. But see, for me, I mean, it's pretty safe, it's developed, it's clean. And, you know, I don't really care if they got Muslims. Same goes for Indonesia. But it's just, it's too mixed with people that I don't want to be around. And I mean, I'll just say that. I don't want to be around a bunch of Indians. I don't want to be around a bunch of Chinese. I don't want to be around some Malaysians. I just don't want to be. It's not anything against them personally. It's just I want to be in a different country. Look at me. I'm as white as they come. I'd rather be in Europe. Even South America, you know, I think about it, and I just go, listen, I don't want to have to deal with the machismo bullshit or some of their attitudes and some of the danger that takes place there. I'd rather be somewhere in Europe where it's a friendly place, they almost never have any crime, that kind of mentality. Now, Vietnam, there's no retirement visa in Vietnam. They're supposed to come up with a golden visa, but it hasn't come into play yet. And that golden visa is going to cost you at least $150K. And they don't have a retirement visa, which means every 3 months, you need to, I don't know if you need to leave or you need to renew it, but no, it requires visa runs. So that means you need to leave the country every 3 months. And I know someone, Tom, who, yes, Spain is a good place. Spain is another good place, but I don't have that on my list here. But it is a good place, and I've thought about it. Now, I think in a different way. If I was going somewhere and we had an apartment or something like that, and we could afford it, and we just kept it there, and we went like for 3 months or 5 months, 6 months, then my wife would do it. But she lives in Thailand. If I said to you, honey, you're moving to Spain. The kids are moving to Spain. We're all moving to Spain. I've thought about this at length. She would not want to stay if I died. She would be like, that's it, I'm going back to Thailand. We'll go back to Thailand. She's not going to stay there. So for her to go part-time is the way to go. 3 to 6 months, okay, she'll do that. But when she says, oh, I live there too, she could live there. Oh, I live there part-time. Okay, I understand that. But really, she lives in Thailand. If anything happens, she's going to move back to Thailand. And she's just going to stay in Thailand. She probably won't go there that much anymore. you know. Yes, I've been to Nepal, and Nepal was fantastic. I loved it. It was one of my favorite places. Some people don't like it. My mother didn't like it. I don't know why, but she didn't like it as much as India, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Getting harder and harder to get away from those types of people in Europe as well. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I mean. You go to some places and you're going to be surprised there's all these Somalians there or whatever, you know. And quite frankly, I don't want to be around them. I don't know what that makes me, but it's, you know, I know there's some good people. You know, I was in Cambodia. Oh, this is a couple years ago. I went into a restaurant. It was an Ethiopian restaurant. Man, they served me the best meal. It was fantastic. It was like under $5. It was the only Ethiopian in the whole city that I saw. You know. You know, Bangkok is okay. Yeah, but I don't need to be around the people that are getting drunk and getting wasted and, you know, doing, I don't know. I just don't want to be around them. I got a more quiet lifestyle now. You know? Well, I mean, I've eaten it a lot. Many. I've been going to many. Battambang, Siem Reap, Siem Nookville. I mean, I can't even remember all of them. You know, Phnom Penh. What's that other one? I know I'm missing one that is pretty big. So anyway, I don't know. If I think of it, I'll bring it up. A lot of people don't leave. And I know I got friends back in the United States. They are still in the same place. I've been Kempot. They're still in the same place that they were when I left. When I got out of high school, they're still in the same place. They might be living down the street or, you know, in another city, you know, a little ways away or something. But they're still there. They're doing the same things. You know, maybe they're working at a job. I knew how many brothers? It was 4 brothers. I knew 4 brothers. One of them is dead now. My best friend. He was my best friend when I was a kid. And 3 of the brothers, they're all married. They all live, you know, with their partner, and they are still in South Miami where they grew up. Their mother is still in South Miami. They haven't gone anywhere. Haven't done, you know, maybe they go on I'm going to go on a cruise to Mexico. Okay, all right. And that's fine if that makes them happy. If they're happy, then great. Because, you know, some Americans still believe, oh, America is the greatest place on earth. You want to believe that? Believe it. I don't believe that anymore. I believe it is a great place, but I believe there are equally great places and equally nice places all around the globe. Yeah, I really like the Ethiopian, you know, I mean, I sat down, I was there for like 2 hours and had a meal with him. I was done after about an hour and I talked to him for like an hour. He was really nice. I gotta sneeze, man. You know, some people, they're back in the States and they're thinking, Jesus, I gotta sneeze. Oh, man. Thank you. Oh, my goodness. You know, they're back in the States and they're thinking, well, why do I want to leave here? It's so great here. It's so fantastic here. And, you know, and yet they're paying 9/10 of their salary just to pay for bills. And they're like, well, I'm getting ahead. I've got a boat. I've got a car. You know, I don't always have money for gas for the boat to go out on the lake, but, you know, they have to save up to go somewhere. And, you know, they wonder if they were to go move abroad, you know, what happens if I get sick? Oh, does Thailand have refrigerators? Some people actually think like this. What if I hate it there? Well, what if you love it there? Listen, I don't particularly want to go to the Middle East. It has to do with their culture. I'm just not into the culture. It doesn't do a thing for me. Now, I know there's some really nice people, wonderful people. I've met many people from the Middle East who I really like. But do I want to, first of all, and I know it's not all desert, although maybe much of it is desert, I just don't want to go there. I don't have the urge to go there and be around all these, I just don't want it. It's just me, right? So people have their aversions to different places. There's people that look at Thailand and they go, why do I want to go there? The girl that I was seeing before I left, she said, what do I want to go there for? It's filthy, and they don't speak English. And I went, what are you? Yeah. Well, now she's right. It is, in some places, it's filthy. And in some places, they don't speak English. Okay. But you'll be fine. You know, to me, I was like, it was my freedom. The only thing between you and having a little bit better life or making something better out of what you have in the United States, you can keep telling yourself that, and then you can keep telling yourself you can't do it, and you won't. It's that simple. You know, but if you decide you want to do it, you can do it. Now, you don't have to be 60 to move here. I still think 50 and above is rather easy. When she said no, weren't you relieved? At first I was kind of like, what? And then afterwards I went, okay, whatever, no problem for me. You know, and then after the first trip, that was it. I didn't even want to be with her anymore. That was it. I was like, you know what? I told her I'm moving. I'm leaving here. She said, what? I go, yeah, I'm leaving. I know I'm going to leave. And then, you know, I don't know how long it took me. But eventually I went, all right, see you later. I'm gone, you know. Listen, Thailand can be extremely filthy, or it can be, you know, very neat and tidy. It had nothing about Asian fever. It wasn't about Asian fever. It was about wanting an adventure. That's the true story. It's about, I just want to see the world. I've always known this. From when I was traveling with my parents and I was going, playing, I always knew, hey, I want to see what's out there. And, you know, in some ways it stifled me. Like financially, it's taken me a long time, to put it mildly. You know, some people make it by the time they're 30. You know, I look at it and I go, I still haven't made it. I'm not to where I want to be. But I got a wife and kids, and, you know, together we're where I want to be. By myself, I like to have a little more money in the bank, and I like to, you know, there's a few things that I want. Yeah, now imagine you're somewhere in Africa and you have to go to the river every day where there's crocodiles, and they have a big fence so that the crocodiles can't get in. I mean, you know, you could live like that. But because of the move that I made, I was able to say, okay, well, I'm going to go here and go there. And I've been all throughout Southeast Asia. Everywhere. And I've been in, you know, South America and, you know, Caribbean and Europe. Several places. So now, the thing is, I wanted to go over some of this because I wasn't even thinking about some of these. I was looking up the visas available to people under 60 because a guy wrote me a couple days ago asking me, I think he was 35. I'm not sure, I don't remember, but I think he was 35. And he said, yeah, I want to move there. Oh, he was a veteran also. He wanted to move here. And I said, well, you're not 50. That kind of limits you a little bit, but you still can do it. I said, you can get an ED visa, which is a language visa, and you'll be good for a year, maybe 15 months. Now, I think you can do it up to 3 years, as long as 5 years. Depends on what you show them and what, you know, it depends on who you're dealing with. If you get married, now he's not married, you could become a volunteer. I don't think he wants to become a volunteer. You can get an elite visa. Well, that costs you cash. It's going to cost you, you know, maybe 25 grand. You really want to pay that? I guess maybe if you've got the money, and then you can get an LTR visa. You can get a digital nomad visa. You can do these things, but they all cost money. So that's the bottom line. And I'm going to do a video. It's about how I never got it until I came to Thailand. And that got it, I mean, I didn't know that money is the bottom line of everything. You can say people can have, you know, all their attributes, their integrity and their honor and all these things, and that's wonderful. I think that comes before the money. But you know what? It takes money to do everything. Damn near everything, you gotta have money. Unless you're living up in the Arctic Circle where you trade. No, it's, you see this? It's the same microphone. Let me move it up a little. There we go. Yeah, until I came here, I did not think to myself, money, 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 money. Every little bit of money, it counts. It adds up on the scorecard. And that's why people think, really? I don't know. You know, I get so much shit for these mics. Really, I do. You know, my friend in Ecuador is constantly going, and he's a filmmaker. He's constantly telling, oh, you got to do something with that mic. It's not playing now, and it might be playing, but it's not playing as loud as it should be, or something. Well, I can't turn the mic up. So what I really need is no. I never did. Never, never, never. And the people who sold it to me couldn't figure it out either. Which is fine, but I got a couple things to go over, but let me finish this up here. What I think people should think of is, where am I now, where am I headed, and where am I going to be in 5 years? And if you go, well, I'll have $2,000 saved up, you're doing something wrong. If you don't have very much money and you're just going, I don't know, you know, you got the same job, the same bills, you're burnt out, you're wondering how you're ever going to get ahead in life. I mean, you know, I was making good money and I could save it if I wanted, but back then I didn't know what to do with my money. I was just like, I got money, I got to spend it. And to me, it seems like prices are getting higher everywhere. And as you get older, you're going to need some more money just so that you're comfortable. So, if you want to make a move, what do you really need? You should have at least 6 to 12 months of living expenses. You should have that much, really, just in case. You should take a trip for, I used to say 6 months to a year. Now I'm saying 2 months to 3 months, so that you can check the place out, go around the country a little bit, check out the cities, maybe you explore 2 or 3 places. You talk to locals, you talk to expats, you figure out the vibe. You plan your visa, because the visa that's everything. If you don't have a good visa, then you're going to be in limbo all the time. You're going to be going, oh, now my 3 months is up. What am I supposed to do? And you have to figure out your health care, and then you just do it. You know, if I can do it, anybody can do it. But you know what I was going to say before is, Tom used to go out of the country every 3 months. He had a marriage visa from the United States where he would pay $700. He would show $700 in the bank, and then they would give him a 1-year multiple entry visa. where he had to go out of the country every 3 months. He had to. He didn't have a choice. And I was like, why are you doing that? Oh, because I want to go out of the country. I go, dude, you don't want to go out of the country. I know you. You don't want to go out of the country. You want to go out when you want to go out. No, I want to go out. I'll get bored. And I said, okay. If that's what you want, good for you. But for me, I never wanted that. Ever. Who wants to do a visa run every 3 months because you have to? All right, I'll do a visa run because I feel like doing it. That's much easier. I'll go there, but I don't really have to do a visa run. I'm just going to go there for fun. I used to go to Cambodia for fun all the time. Oh, how do I get there now? Oh, I'm going to take a car. Me and my buddy are going to go in a car. We just want to see what it's like to go in a car from, let's say, Phoi Phet to Phnom Penh. Can we do this? We would do that all the time. Tom is a little different than the Thais, believe me. He's very excited now about this project he's working on with a guy. He's got this Thai guy that he knows that is trying to put together rockets. Rockets for commercial use. Not commercial use, well, commercial use in the sense that he's selling them to people. And he's got to come up with all these different ideas. And Tom is just, he doesn't have that much to do now because he's like me. He's, trying to figure things out, what he can do. He's like, I got to do this. And now he's always thinking about, it's this. Oh, let me show you this. Let me show you this video, that video. And I go, after a while, I just go, Tom, yeah, like toy rockets, electric rockets, rockets with, the one-time use thing that goes off. And I used to use them when I was a kid. I haven't used them in years. But he's into this because he's making something, I don't know what the deal is, but he's doing something that's supposed to be, it's never been done before, and all of a sudden, he's always got these ideas. So he's working with this guy, and the guy is very into his project. It's kind of his hobby. And so now Tom is like, okay, now we can do this, and he's involved in the project. So he wants me to make a little video when they get the rocket working. And so whatever, if he gets it, I told him, I said, it's very nice. I hope you get it to work. We'll see. That's my mentality about it. But like one of the things I was getting that got canceled the other day was it was the filters for the action cam. Because if you go underwater, you need a pink, red, or purple filter. If you're out and it's bright light, you need like an ND8, ND16, something like that. He's not, believe me. He just studies videos a lot. And so now they canceled my order, and I need a nighttime filter also. So I need 6 filters, at least six to 8 filters. I was gonna buy them for like cheap, but they canceled the order. I'm like, why would they cancel the order? Maybe they don't have stock, but they didn't even communicate with me, so that's the way it goes. Anyway, yeah, what was I saying? Just come here, make sure you got the money. The money is the most important thing. If you got money, you can come. You got money and you got half a brain, you should be able to make it here. There's a lot of guys here. I mean, I see guys all the time on YouTube or not on YouTube, whatever, and I never see them again. They're gone. I don't know what happened to them. I have no idea. And every once in a while I see somebody like Jono, maybe Billy. There's a few people that have come over here that I've gotten to know. Cyrus, Tim, there's Tim. There's a few people. They come here and they end up staying. And some of them have been here for a year or two when I meet them. So, that's something to think about. But there is a Bangkok YouTuber with 27,000 subs, homeless and destitute, trying to GoFundMe out of his problems. hey, I don't know the guy, and you know, listen, it's his life, not mine. That's all I can say. You know, I mean, what was that comment that I got the other day that was pretty funny, or, you know, illuminating? Let me see here, if I can find that. It was something about how you tip the driver. My thing about he wanted 100 baht for a 43 baht fare. And the guy said, what do you think about negotiating the fare before you start the journey? Now I was like, no, you don't negotiate. I mean, like, you don't do that. That's not how it's done here. I remember now my Thai wife did that when we took 2 motorcycle taxis. Okay, a motorcycle taxi is different. I think I have done that myself a few times with car taxis. No arguments, everyone smiles. It eliminates the problems that are outlined in the video. The only problem was the guy wanted 100 baht and didn't want to turn the meter on. I said, turn the meter on. He turned the meter on. Then when he got there, he goes, I want 100, give me 100 baht. He's like, oh, can I have 100 baht? He wasn't being an asshole. It was all lighthearted. But I was like, no, you can't. You're not, I'm sorry. Listen, I want $100,000 in my pocket. I want to walk around, I got 20 grand all the time in my pocket. Where is it? Somebody give me that? Can I have that? Well, no one's going to give me that. And I know it's only a couple of bucks. But the other thing the guy said was, he said, you might save money if you get stuck in traffic. No, you're not going to save money. It's just not going to happen. Maybe the driver makes a little more than usual. Is that bad? No, it's not. That's why I tip them. That's why if it's 53 baht, I give them the 60 baht, and I go, here you go, keep that, man. Okay. And to me, that's reasonable. Now, if you're a tourist and you want to give them the 100, that's up to you. But as an expat who lives here day in and day out, I don't have the money to give away all the time like that, and I'm not going to do it. It sets a bad precedent, in my opinion. The meter is on. Well, that's not my problem. You know, I can't worry about everybody else's problems. I worry about me and my family and taking care of us. And my friends, if they need a little bit of help and I can help them, okay, I'll help my friends. My parents. Okay, other than that, you know, listen, you could say, well, you know, he's a taxi driver and you're a rocket scientist. You make big money, he makes a little bit of money. Yeah, but that's not my fault. Okay? And I can tip someone because I want to give him a little bit extra, and maybe I even tip him exorbitantly. Maybe I give him 500. I go, listen, buddy, here, let me just help you out. And I've done this before. I've given people 500 baht, 1,000 baht. They're on the street begging. And I could see the guy really needed it. And I was like a little bit flushed, and I went, here you go. Give him the 1,000 baht. And he's like, oh, thank you, thank you. But that doesn't happen very often. You know, I mean, listen, I understand that people they have problems around the world and in the United States too. But I just go to a point. And that point is, you know, I don't mind helping people sometimes, but there's a point that you can help them. You know, it's like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. I could give the guy $50,000 and say to the guy, listen, this money's got to last you. You're going to have to make it work for you. And he could put it in some kind of stock market, in the different stocks, and he could make a little bit of money every month, and he would be like, okay, well, I got this money coming in. No, what they'll do is they'll go out and buy a new car, they'll do this, they'll do that, and then they won't have any money left, and then they'll be like, oh, what am I going to do? That's what most people will do. Yeah, so, I mean, that's off the table. I hate to say that. My wife agrees to flat fare. No way. No way. I'm sorry. She's wrong on that one. The only exception, if it's a long fare, like if you're going from Chayapum to Bangkok in a taxi, you negotiate the fare. You don't just turn the meter on. You can negotiate the fare. That's fine. you're going Bangkok to Pattaya. They go, oh, 1,200 baht, 1,500 baht. You just negotiate. The other reason is if they are waiting for you. Like I have sometimes the motorbike driver. Where did I go? I had to pick something up. Oh, I went to pick up my clothes. I bought some clothes upstairs, and they had not delivered them in the morning. So what I did was, at 4 o'clock, I had a motorbike driver bring me to the mall here. I said, wait right here. I went upstairs. It took me 20 minutes. I got my clothes. I came downstairs, and he's waiting for me. Now, the fare would have been 70 baht to go and come back. I gave him 100. The guy's waiting for me 10, 15, 20 minutes. Here you go. It's 100 baht. And he was like, oh, thank you, thank you. He probably figured if I gave him 80, he'd be happy. So there are things that you do and things you just don't do, and I don't know. It's at the end of the day, you do whatever you want with your own money. Really, you do whatever you want. It's your money. You can do whatever you want. All right, let me just read this here. Okay. Well, speaking of money, you want a consultation? Email me at americaninbangkok@gmail.com. You need help with your budget, whatever, I'll help you out with that. You need help with some chick, I'll do my best to help you out with that. With women, you never know. But you can help support the channel. There's down below is a join button. It's $1.99 to get in, and that's it, $1.99. Then I got all kinds of other ways down below in the description. If you're living abroad right now, or you're already living abroad and you want to, you can always leave a super chat, whatever you want. It doesn't matter. You can just watch. I'm not getting rich off of this, I can tell you that. And I'm surprised because sometimes I look and I go, I make less money than some people who have like 3,000 subscribers. Honestly. Because I resorted to live streaming for several years. I went to live stream. I thought live streaming was the way to go, but I don't think it is really. But it's important. Hey, how you doing, Cyrus? All right. Oh wow, he came here. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. How you doing?
All right.
Yeah. So, how long were you in the U.S.? 4 months. Did you have to go there, or
Yeah, I have
take care of some business?
to. Yeah.
So now you don't have to go back for a while.
Yeah.
So you're happy.
As long as whatever is happening over there goes good.
That's kind of how I think, When my friend Jono, the golfing guy, when he first came here, he used to say to me, my friends here, my friends there, oh, they're so worried about this and that. They want me to call them, and, I'm supposed to do this. And I go, listen, Jono, after a little while, half of those friends will just kind of fade away. They're not calling you. So you don't have to call them unless you really want to. And now he's like, I only got a couple people that I talk to back home. And I'm like, I told you, and people don't realize that, They really don't. They just think that, and the thing is, everything is the same back home. Most everything, somebody might have a new job or a new car or something like that, but they're still in the same place. They might still be living with their mother, with their family, Everything's pretty much the same. And, if I go home now, what my parents are doing is the same thing as they were 2-3 years ago. So, and to me, that's, if they want to do the same thing, I'm doing the same thing here.
Yeah, right.
So it's a little bit, it's not the same as it was before when I was doing all kinds of different things. But, I just know that back there, they're doing things, and I'm going, well, I'm paying $12 for my internet on my phone, and you're paying $100. And I just love that. That whenever somebody talks about internet, cable, you know, whatever it may be, their utility bill, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I just go, I love it. I love it, you know. And that's not even the best thing, really. I mean, you know, it's one of the good things is that the cost of living is quite low. But I think it's just the people in general. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
Right about that.
I rarely have anything more than like somebody might kind of think something that I might say something to somebody and they go, like they get a little bit freaked out and I go, no, it's okay. It's like, calm, you know, like giant yen, you know. And I'm like, no, that's not what I meant. I meant this. Oh, sorry, you know, and then that's it. That's the big problem. I don't have any other problems in my life like that. My wife might yell at me once in a while, but you know, other than that, that's it. Let me see here. What is this?
You still streaming?
Yeah, right now I'm streaming. You're not on the stream, mine.
Oh, okay.
You're not on the stream. Reading on a Facebook Thai group, guy talking about some guy he met in a bar. Dude said he gave his Thai girlfriend 80,000 baht per month. Spending allows. I was like, how many sick buffalo does she have? Well, I'm the one. I told you guys about a guy I know who used to pay a girl 80K. Well, there was the Israeli guy. He gave her 80K. And then my friend, his name was James. That's all I'm going to say. And he was making like 450, 500,000 a month, baht. He had himself like, I think it was 80 or 100,000 baht apartment. Very nice. With like 5 air conditioners and 3, you know, he had like 3 bedrooms so that if his buddies came over, they could sleep there. He wanted to be Mr. Big Shot. And he had some girl, he said, yeah, I give her 80,000. He was all proud of her. I go, you give her 80,000? I go, do you at least bang her like every day or a couple times a day? Well, not really, you know. And he told me, well, you know, like, I don't know what it is with her, man, but I just, you know, I crack a nut really quick with her. And I'm like, so you're not even getting your money's worth out of her. I'm like, it's not like you're having long, drawn out, you know, fun times with her. I'm like, you're having like, you know, a minute or two, and then it's like, okay, well, maybe tomorrow we can do that for a minute or two. It's not worth it, you know? And I just look at it now and I go, he was an idiot. He was an idiot. He was an idiot for getting the apartment he got. He was an idiot for everything. Oh, she was a pro. I didn't think she was worth the money for sure. I mean, she had a nice body. She was thin. She was thin. She wasn't like slim with a nice body. She was thin and had a decent body. And she was kind of pretty. But she definitely wasn't worth 80K a month. You know, I didn't think she was all that special. But he did. And that, you know, of course she dressed in like, you know, like satin pants and, you know, nice silky, you know, blouses. And he thought when he took her out, he looked classy. And I used to dress just like I'm dressed now. And he'd go, you know, if you dressed a little nicer, Scott, you might get better women. And I'm like, first of all, I'm married, and I don't really care. And second of all, what's the wrong with the way that I'm dressed? I'm very comfortable. I don't look bad. So, fuck you. I was like, I'll dress better if I want to. Oh, I was just trying to help you. I don't need your help. You think because you got an 80,000 baht girl that you're paying for, that you're doing better than me. You know what I mean? And I was just like, no, you're not. Same old story. Bar girls love it. Yeah, they love that. They love the money. That's their job. You know, you can't blame them. Listen, if I was a chick, I'd be a hoe. I would be, really. I'd be a hoe. Anyway, I think, you know, the bottom line is you don't need to be rich. You don't need to be retired. You just need to stop settling for the stress and the bills, because you can live better for less, and you can, you need to want it. You need to want to be somewhere else. You need to want to change your life, and you need to figure something out. You need to be able to earn or have the money, have the money coming in, whatever it is. You need to be able to have the money so that you can live here. And then you just go, okay, what's the budget where I can live comfortably? And if you can figure that out, you're golden. You're golden. All right, so do me a favor. Remember to hit the like button, hit the notification bell if you subscribe. If you'd like to show your support for the channel, hit the join button down below, $1.99. If you want to send me a Dear Scott letter, I haven't got one of those in a while. You want to send me a message or whatever, you need a consultation, like I said before, an American in Bangkok at gmail.com. And I hope you guys learned a little bit from this stream. I don't know, maybe you did. How many people are here now? 52 right now. Well, that's not too bad. We had about 62, I think, today. So that's all right. 62, 64. Usually skinny chicks are hollow. I don't like bony chicks. That's what I don't like. I don't want some chick to be, you know, like wide ass. I don't want a Kim Kardashian ass. But I don't want some bony little girl that her hip bones are banging into you and you're like bruised from her hip bones. That's not good. Anyway, listen. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you, but I'm sorry. Before I leave, the one thing that I'm doing now, I'm working on. I have been thinking about going some places with my family, without my family. We were going to go to Surat. Something happened down there in the south that made it a little bit dangerous for us to go down there. It's not dangerous anymore. We can go down there, and I would go down there at least for 3-4 days. But that's not really the trip that I want. I want something that's gonna, you know, make me happy, make me smile, make me go somewhere and go, wow. And whether the wife goes or not, I have a free business class ticket anywhere in Thailand, which is great. That's fantastic. I can go anywhere in Thailand. Well, anywhere that Thai Airways flies. For free. So I want to go somewhere else. And I have a couple ideas. And one idea is down in the south on an island. And I've been getting some diving stuff together. I used to dive. I used to scuba dive. I was certified. It's been a long time, but I just want to go snorkeling. And I want to go have some fun, and I want to use my action cam camera and go, you know, and film some fish and film the reefs and, you know, do some diving. So that could be fun. And well, yeah, there's some chick down there in the south, and you know, I don't know who she is. And if she knew my wife, she'd probably go, oh, sorry. I don't know. I don't think she would. If she knew where I was, knew who the family was, she probably would be like, sorry. I don't think she's that serious. So I'm not serious about her. So she can run around naked for all I care. It doesn't matter to me. Anyway, all right. So that's all I got. That's all I got for now. And I don't know when I'll be back. It could be a week, could be 2 weeks, probably by the end of the month, but that's all I have, so I guess I'll see you guys later. I'm Scott, I'm American in Bangkok. Yeah, I'm Patty certified, and I logged into Patty, created an account, and they can't find my name. They ask you for, I forget what they ask you for, but it's something, oh, maybe they want a license or something like, yeah, I think they want a license. Or a driver's license or ID, and I don't have one. My ID expired, so I'm gonna have to get one. Maybe they can find me. Yeah, refresher course would be good. But I gotta see about my lung. My lung has been punctured twice, so I need to go to the chamber and do the test to see if I can handle it. And other than that, then I'm ready to go. It's about the cost. Do I want to pay the money to go diving somewhere? So if I just go snorkeling to start out, that's a good thing for me. And I'm thinking of going to a very lovely island down in the south, to fly down there and have a good time for about a week and maybe stream from there, get some video down there and and have a good time. So maybe you'll catch me. Well, you're not going to catch me there. I won't be there the next time. It might be next month. So, all right, that's it. I'll talk to you guys later. Choke Dilo, jerk and mine, all that good stuff. See you later. And take care.